it just seems to me, I don't see what the end game is here. I don't see victory in the air for Israel. I see them eroding global support rapidly with what is now happening. How do you see it?
I agree with you. What this Israeli government is doing is catastrophic. It is a genocide. It's extraordinarily cruel. It's extraordinarily vulgar, vicious, ugly. It's disgusting beyond imagining. The problem is that Netanyahu and his ilk and a lot of the political elite class for decades has said, we will rule over everybody. There will never be a Palestinian state. There are many motivations for that view. One is perhaps Netanyahu's view, this is the only way we can be secure. The other, which is also very popular among parts of the Israeli government, is that God promised us everything. These other people are on our land. Now, whatever you say about it, there is no endgame of peace on the Netanyahu plan, because the Netanyahu plan, and this has been for decades, is to rule over the entire land. And that means ruling over the Palestinians either in an apartheid state, in other words, oppressing the Palestinian people, or killing them, or expelling them in ethnic cleansing. It's clear that all of those methods are deliberately being used now. This constant shouting, Hamas, 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 is not the point at all. The point is that the political endgame for Netanyahu, Smotrich, Ben-Gvir, the leaders of this government, is to rule over the entire territory of what was mandatory Palestine. In other words, for Israel to control everything. In fact, Netanyahu makes no bones about it. He doesn't hide anything. He says, we will control Gaza. Well, what does that mean? It either means extraordinary oppression, or it means ethnic cleansing, or it means mass murder. Now, Israel's committing mass murder right now. It is as simple as that. And Israel says, well, it's about Hamas, but what is their end game that they offer? They don't offer an end game. They are very clear on the inside. I know what the end game is, because if you follow the Israeli politics, the end game is we control everything. In fact, some of this extremist coalition is so vulgarly, rabidly, violently extreme that their interpretation of, quote, God's promise to the Jewish people is parts of Egypt, parts of Syria, parts of Lebanon. They have a very expansive view, and indeed Israel is in Syria now. It is in Lebanon now. And there are parts of this coalition that say we're going to stay there. So the problem, Piers, is a political problem. You're completely right. It cannot be solved by war or defeating Hamas. That's not even their purpose. Their purpose is to control all the land, what they call Greater Israel, or Yisrael Hashlemah, mean the big expanse of Israel. It's a madness. It's a zealotry. It's a cruelty. It's nothing less than that. And there is no peace possible until there is a state of Palestine living in peace on the internationally recognized borders, which are the borders of the 4th of June, 1967, alongside Israel. What Netanyahu would never tell you, what this Doron Spielman, who was shouting just a moment ago, would never tell you, is that all of the Arab states have said, we will have peace when there is a state of Palestine. What they won't tell you is that the entire 57-member Organization of Islamic Cooperation has said we will have peace with Israel when there is a state of Palestine as a UN member state, properly constituted. And in fact, and you know I hang out at the United Nations, more than 180 countries of the world say this, with a population of more than 95% of the world population. There is a madness, a sickness of the Israeli government, this extremist, cruel and zealot government. But the tragic part is the United States and parts of Europe have backed up this vile behavior.
But I do think we've got
for years.
I've